I gave people all the stuff they really needed. Social security checks, utility bills, TV guide.
I want a TV guidance counselor. TV guidance counselor. Staying up to watch all night, and everything's gonna be alright with my TV guidance counselor.
Hey everybody, welcome to TV Guidance Counselor. I am Ken Reed, your TV Guidance Counselor, who as always has been here to discuss classic television, usually using a back issue of TV Guide magazine from my personal collection as the inspiration for my conversation with an interesting person. This week I sort of do that. I did send a TV Guide to my guest. I kind of went through it, but it's about a 50-50 format if you're one of the strict format people. But it's a great conversation. My guest is Creature from the band Rebelmatic. If you are unfamiliar with them, you should check them out. They have a new record out called Sting the Devil. They have a live record coming out later this year, which we talk about here. They have about 4 or 5 records out, but the new record's great. All their records are really good, especially for like sort of hardcore or metallic. I don't know how to call it groove metal because it's not really, but it's in that realm. Just punk rock, good old fashioned punk rock. And Creature's a good dude, and I had a good time talking to him. Hope you guys are doing well with the apocalyptic heat and apocalyptic everything else. We're almost done with July. 7 months in. Yeah, I don't know. Feel free to email me at tvguidancecounselor@gmail.com or ken@icanread.com. Yeah, if you want to chat. Or you can go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/TV Guidance Counselor. And if you have $5 a month or more, you could get a PDF of the TV Guide with Arsenio Hall that I sent to Creature this week to review. And you can play along. You can see what is in that issue and pretend like you're on the show. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't do that? Sometimes I do that, and I am on the show. Anyway, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of TV Guidance Counselor with my guest, Creature, from the band Rebelmatic.
TV is my friend, and it has been always there for me in time of need.
Live from New York City as we both swelter in the heat. Creature, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Trying to stay cool. I'm in an establishment, staying cool, getting away from the heat. So I'm good. I'm well.
Duck in the heat. That's always
Duck in the heat. Duck in the heat. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We were just chit-chatting music a little bit before this. But it kind of fits in. So the issue you picked here is May 8th to the 14th. What are we, 93?
Yeah.
And it's Arsenio on the cover. Is that why you picked it?
Absolutely. I always wanted to play on Arsenio.
The bands he would have on didn't get on Leno Letterman or anything.
Exactly. Oh, some babies going on here. I'm in Whole Foods. There's some babies having. They heard about Leno and Letterman. They were like,
talking Arsenio?
This Arsenio? I want to get on Leno and Letterman. Oh shit, yeah. Keeps it authentic. I like it. That's really, I really wanted to be on Arsenio. I was like, man, if we ever, whatever, I was playing music, I was like, man, that'd be a dream. And seeing some really cool shit on there, that would have been dope.
Because like growing up, you grew up in New York where Arsenio wasn't, but a lot of the late night shows were shot there.
Yep.
But I think Arsenio was the first full-time black late night host?
He might be. I mean, I'll say from my era I remember. I mean, I don't remember anyone. There could be something else. Like I know Spinbad was later. There's a couple other people, but as far as prominent that had like big guests on and had musical guests, and you're like, oh shit, this person just did this great movie. They're an Arsenio, So I remember seeing like Third Base on there and like. KMD with MF Doom, several Vex later MF Doom, and it's all kind of just dope shit. And I was like, whoa, this is fucking cool,
Third Base without Henry Rollins playing Vanilla Ice.
Absolutely, this is before. That was the Henry Rollins. That's 91. That's the second album, Derelicts of Dialect. The first album was Cactus in 88, 89.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I'm a super duper hip hop fan. Super duper hardcore and metal and all that other shit. We're super into music.
It all kind of is, it's sort of what we were talking about before we were recording. It's all kind of the same piece. Like people will put
Yeah.
up kind of genre walls, but kind of it's all the same thing. I was just
It,
talking to my wife earlier today about how to me, like hip hop was a natural evolution of punk rock in that it was like, hey, we don't need to play 3 chords. We'll just take the 3 chords you already played and we'll use that.
and we'll take the best part of the 3 chords you play. We'll take the breakdown part and we'll loop it and we'll make a whole song that sounds nothing like that.
It's all like the resources were different. But it's crazy to me that it was until when did Arsenio start, probably 90, 91, that it took that long. And I think he guest hosted some stuff. He kind of made his national debut being the guest comedian on Alan Thicke's Thick of the Night, if you remember that
Oh
thing.
shit. Oh shit. Alan Thicke, the father from Growing Pains. The
Yep.
father of fucking Robin Thicke. And
Yeah.
who wrote the song for Growing Pains too,
Yeah.
Alan Thicke, and
In
he wrote other
different
songs.
strokes.
So yeah, different songs. I was gonna say he wrote other songs too. I was gonna say yeah, Alan Thicke. He always seemed
Yeah.
like a cool dad on the show. He always seemed like he was a cool dad. Well, he presented well. I'll say that he presented like a cool dad.
Yeah, and was like comforting, but didn't seem to. Although from everyone I've had on the show that worked with him, I love the ladies
Oh
a
well,
little too much.
Okay, well, see, you know, I think those times the lines got a little blurred, but consent is a key word and
Yeah,
comfortability. If the ladies are not, you don't have consent, it's a no go, and if they're not comfortable, it is a no go, champ.
yeah. I don't know if it ever went that far, but it was, more than you'd
Oh,
expect from
well,
Mister Thick.
I don't have no ex. Listen, you are a national television star. And he's a pretty handsome guy to say, you
Yeah,
know. I mean, listen, God bless him. As long as there's no transgressions, that as far as there's no allegations of transgressions, and he always got consent.
and it's the '80s. Everyone's seen it.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know, he might have been partying with Rick James. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. You know, it was a
So
lot.
he had this show called Dick of the Night that they really was the reason he moved down there from Canada. They were like, he's
Mm,
gonna take over, he's gonna kill Johnny Carson, he's like this hip young guy, and the
wow.
show bombed. So they
Right.
kept trying to like introduce new like aspects of it. So
Mm,
every week they'd have like a guest Ed McMahon that was a comedian.
right. Right.
They were doing mud wrestling it was like they were just trying to throw anything at the wall. And
Right. See what
Arsenio
sticks.
was the one that clicked the best. And before that,
Wow.
I think I'd seen him on like Solid Gold. He'd do a spot now and then,
Right. Right.
but he really clicked on that talk show. And I think
Mm.
that's when people were like, "Oh, this guy can host a talk show. Like he's got that
He
talent to
got
do
that
that
talent.
thing."
Yeah. And then he was, I mean, it doesn't hurt. He was friends, he is or was definitely friends with Eddie Murphy and all these other guys too,
Yep.
you know? Put him in
Yeah.
better. And Magic Johnson too. He was friends with Magic and Eddie Murphy. I don't know if that came after, but I know that he was definitely close with those guys.
I think it was around that time. There was a comedy club, and
In
I'm
LA?
totally blanking on the name. Yeah, I think it was like the Uptown Comedy Club or something in
Might
LA.
I know, okay, there's one in New York too, so that's what, yeah, probably so.
But that's
Probably
where
so.
like all those guys got together, and you had like Keenan Ivory Wayans kind of came out of that
Oh,
scene.
Robert Townsend, like
Robert Townsend, who's the
Robin
best. Yeah,
Harris. Oh yeah.
all those guys came out of that one
Yeah.
club, and for whatever reason, well, I think probably know the reason, but I feel like that club has not been explored enough by people. Like I want to hear like a 12-part podcast about that club.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got enough talent. I mean, listen, Robert Townsend is one of the most underrated, like directors and minds
Oh,
of the world.
good
He's
dude.
fucking brilliant, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, people know about Keenan Ivory Wayans because of his family, and he's brilliant too. But Robert Townsend was like just phenomenal, dude. Like, is
Hollywood
phenomenal.
Shuffle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Like, just crazy. Hollywood Shuffle, Five Heartbeats, just
yeah.
crazy.
He should have had the career, not to disparage Keith Everyone's, but I feel like Robert Townsend should have had that career, like that level of fame. Like
Well,
he was so much more, he had so much more to offer.
right. Well, you know what is too? The range. But see, I think they're like really super duper close friends to this day.
Yeah.
Keenan Ivory Wayans Living Color was took him over the top. Right? That made it iconic. And then you got I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which feels like a Robin Townsend type movie. But
Yeah.
the thing is, you got the tentacles. You have his brothers, you have his sisters, you have all his family. So with Robin Townsend, it's like this incredible director, mind, visionary, and who's super close. Like I think they're like best friends with Keenan Ivory Wayans. The tentacles stop when with him. Like you're not it's just like, oh, this guy's brilliant. What else is he doing? I don't know. Well, let's wait. Keenan Ivory Wayans is
Yeah.
like, oh, Damon Wayans is hilarious. Oh, the Wayans brothers got a show. Oh, his sister's in the show. Wait, Living Color is fucking brilliant. What? And wait, he put together Jim Carrey, Tommy Davidson,
David
later
Allen
on
Greer.
Jamie Foxx, David Allen Greer is one of the most underrated. I met him too, like years ago too. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and another really good dude, just like a solid, down to earth, nice guy.
True. So just I think that alone, that much talent assembled. Like you think about, listen, Damon Wayans is hilarious. David Allen Greer is
Yeah.
hilarious. Jim Carrey is fucking hilarious. Tommy Davidson is ridiculous. On the same cast, and then later
Yeah.
on you get Jamie Foxx. Dude,
And
these
Chris
guys
Rock later too.
bro, dude, listen. These are like star players, superstars on the same team. So I think that's why Keenan Ivory Wayne is probably like people might talk about a little bit more. But respect to both.
It never occurred to me till you just said this, but I'm like, I think both Keenan Ivory Wayans and Robert Townsend, as good as performers as they are, I don't think either of them ever wanted to really be in front of the camera that much. I think their ultimate goal was to be behind the camera, writer, director, producer stuff.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
to your point, I think when Robert Townsend moved there, he didn't have himself represented in front of the camera like Keenan Ivory Wayans did with all the guys around him. So that makes sense now that I think about it that way.
Yeah, he literally has his family. He put his whole family on.
Yeah.
And his family's hilarious. But then you have David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson, Jim Carrey, all these people. I mean, I forgot the woman's name, the white woman with the bugged eye.
Oh, Nicole something? Was it
Yes,
Nicole something?
and she was hilarious. The other, the sister, I forgot her name. I feel bad for forgetting their names.
Kim
but
Wayans.
Kim,
Kim
no,
Wayans.
no, I know Kim, but there was another woman that was on Living Color. She did a lot of the other skits too. It was a white woman with like curly blonde hair,
Oh,
like
yeah.
wavy, and then there was a thinner black woman that was shorter. Not Kim, I know
Yes.
Kim, but they were hilarious, and I feel bad for forgetting their names, but they were like so that all that talent, dude, and their guests too. Their guests were amazing. Their guests were amazing. So yeah, I wish I'd have did Living Color too. Shit, I wish I'd have did Living Color.
Well, it's funny too, because I always think of like David Allen Greer and Arsenio Hall when I'm thinking early 90s, like Amazon Women on the Moon immediately comes to mind. It's like, Black Man Without Soul, and then there's no Thelma here. Like those are two of the funniest sketches in that movie.
Dude.
David Allen Greer kills it in that sketch. And BB King is fun. Oh, it's great.
He should still be like killing it. I mean, I'm sure he is. I don't know. I'm not, but I'm just saying his talent is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like Tommy Davidson too. Like I think Tommy Davidson. I hit Tommy Davidson. I just thought like his impressions, his timing, his singing voice. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were like 1950s movie stars where you had to be able to do everything.
Absolutely.
Like you had to be able to sing, dance, do comedy, do drama. Like,
and let's not Jim Carrey's. Come on, that's a unicorn. Jim Carrey's a fucking unicorn. I love it, man. I love it. That's a show I wish I was on too. I would not as as a guest performer, not as like a member.
week in, week out, that's a slog.
Dude, serious. So that's why Arsenio. That's why I picked the Arsenio cover. Yeah.
It's an interesting time because all this sort of 80s stuff is ending. We're just sort of getting into the 90s around 93, like kind of feeling out what the 90s is going to be like.
We're starting to get it together.
This is the year too that Arsenio, I don't know if you've ever seen this clip when he had Jason Voorhees on the show.
I do remember
character.
Yeah. Dude.
Silent for 7 minutes while he's interviewing him.
Dude. And it almost felt like a wrestling promo.
Yeah.
right? It almost felt like it felt like something that the WWE now, or WWF then later WWE would do. But it'd be like, this guy's just standing there, what the and it was some like it predates something the Undertaker would do. And be like, wait,
Yeah.
he's just gonna be there and not say he's just gonna and it made for great TV. You know, it
Oh
made
yeah.
for yeah, it's dude, yeah,
And they're
wow.
sticking to the bit. Like they really stuck to the
Yeah,
bit on
dude, and
that one.
that's something, dude. Like someone, no one breaks character, and like, yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing, dude. Super
Do you
amazing.
remember any bands you've like the first time you heard of them was in Arsenio?
First time I heard of him. I mean, I think I feel like pretty much feel like everyone I seen it, I kind of knew who they were.
Yeah.
Right? Like I remember Living Color was on there. I'm like, I've heard of Living Color already. Um, who else? Yeah, I don't remember. Because everything I pretty much feel like I knew the people. Like, yo, they're on here. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think offhand of some
Yeah,
of
I'm trying to
that.
think. I can't get out of my head when he had New Kids on the Block on and Jordan
Yeah,
Knight was like
yeah,
air humping furiously, and like I think that
yeah.
ruined like that just is overcoming my entire memory.
Dude, you say New Kids on the Block. I just remember uh being around, like being into like metal. I think before I even got to hardcore, I was into metal still. I mean, I'm still in metal, but like more of a metalhead than a hardcore kid. And I just remember like a friend at the time, his like sister and them all being into New Kids on the Block, and he was like Jordan and Joey and blah blah blah. I was like, what the fuck is okay? And it was like they have the buttons on, and then before I remember before that earlier, like the young Latin girls in school all had Menudo pins on.
Yep.
I'm dating myself, but
No,
still.
it was New Edition, Menudo, and then
New
New Kids.
edition,
It was all Maurice
exactly.
Starr.
I was gonna
He's
say
like,
Marie
yep.
Starr. Jesus Christ, who doesn't get enough credit? Who's very underrated as far as like what he's done for music, as far as putting shit together. Marie Starr is
I may be misremembering this, but he obviously Boston guy, and you can imagine how much I had to deal with New Kids being from here. But
sure.
I think Africa Bombata for whatever personal stuff we'll put aside, but like musically,
Right.
he was from Boston originally, and he was in like some funk bands with Maurice Starr in the
Really?
'70s, I believe, before he moved to New York. Like they had some
Really?
sort of musical relationship. I think Maurice Starr played bass and like whatever it was they were doing.
Wow.
Um,
'Cause they never
so
been bothered, never said nothing about living in Boston.
yeah,
Not
I'm
this,
pretty sure he had
not that I
some
knew him like
connection.
that either. Not that I
Right.
knew him like that either.
He
But
was so New York associated too. I
exactly.
think that's it. I don't know where I've heard this, but it might have been from Maurice Starr, but I feel like Africa Bombata heard like Kraftwerk and that weird stuff that would
Oh,
end up
sure.
being like the
Yeah,
foundation when he was
yeah,
here and then
yeah,
moved to New York. I might be wrong, but Maurice Starr came out of that kind of scene of that like, hey, let's listen to weird stuff that's not like traditionally funk and
yeah,
soul music, and then
yeah.
totally reinvent this stuff.
Which is, yeah, dude. It's. I mean, Maurice Starr is kind of like a '80s version of Barry Gordy. And at the
Sure.
same time, he flipped it more by taking a white group and like saying, "Hey, if I can do New Edition, this is gonna go even crazier. This
Yep.
and they can dance, and it's some good-looking guys. Okay, girls are gonna love them. They could sing and this sensibility. Yeah, this is. I mean, listen, representation is important. People see themselves, for a lot. Say, "Oh shit, these are it's what it is." But he's. I don't even know if he's alive still, but
I
he's a
don't think
bro.
he is because he'd
Yeah,
be in his 80s, I think now.
yeah, but I
Um,
know he's not credited enough as far as the stuff he did, um, especially with like, I know New Kids in the Block was, up for Rock and Roll of Fame. They didn't get in this time. And what New Kids in the Block did as far as selling records and all this stuff, and I mean, all of that, that's not to sneeze at.
no, when I think of like 91, 92, if I look at like the top 10 biggest pop acts on the charts those years,
Mhm.
it's like Belle Biv DeVoe,
Oh, wow.
Tevin Campbell, Bobby Brown, New Edition
Wow.
Still, and New Kids, and those are all Maury Starr.
Dude. And dude, Bobby Brown. Man, I still watch old videos of Bobby Brown performing live. Bobby
Oh, he was
Brown,
great. And his height was
dude,
great.
He's dancing on top of speakers. He's doing shit that's like it's rock star shit. Like
Yeah.
Bobby Brown was a rock star. He was a fucking rock star and crushing it, like crushing it. And even today, when you see, I mean, well, he doesn't do the moves well, no, because he's like a little older. He's out of
Yeah.
shape,
He's
but
been through some shit.
he's been through the ring a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you see the new edition, they still man, them moves are swift, man. Those moves
Oh
are
yeah.
swift. It's really
They're in their
cool to look at.
60s.
Yeah, no, they not. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. Yeah, 60, late 50s, 60s, because they were young. Remember, they were like 12, 13.
Bobby
So
Brown was almost washed up at 19.
yeah,
Like his peak
yeah.
was like 17, 18 years old
Look
solo.
at that. Look at that. 20 years old, you're already like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I
Damn.
got all my hits behind me and I'm 20. What am I going to do now?
I mean, listen, dude, it's like someone you know, having it all together in high school, like looks are there, they got the height, they got their height there, they're in great shape, whether if it's women like them, if it's men, like whatever, they're attracted to a bunch of, they got a car, everything's going on, and then you see them 15 years later, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh
Yeah,
shit! And you're like, you're bald, and you're like out of
right.
shape, and you look just very, very regular.
You're doing a reality show.
Yeah, and you were above the cusp. Like everyone else was still growing into themselves. You already had it. You already had the cool sheen. It happens though. It happens.
Yeah.
What do you?
Oh yeah. It's ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Before we get into the listings here, I was flipping through, and there's an article in here about a TV movie that was made for HBO. They shot it in New York, in Staten Island, in the old abandoned insane asylum in Staten Island.
Oh wow.
And it was called Daybreak, and it was Cuba Gooding Jr. and Maura Kelly, and it was about like a post-apocalyptic sort of future where there was sort of like kind of like an AIDS virus, and they kind of put the people who had AIDS in these like camps. It was really good. It was good.
Wow.
And no one I've ever brought it up to has seen it. And there's a cool little article about it.
I haven't seen it. You know what? But they actually did put people on. Well, it was in Ward's Island and a lot of places in New York when people were getting like what's it, smallpox? Like they were getting something. I forget, man, it was a smallpox or something. They were putting like the insane people there and people with diseases on Ward's Island,
Just let 'em
formerly
rot.
Welfare Island, a bunch of different islands in New York. They just put them out there and just leave them there.
Yeah. Easiest thing to do. We don't have to deal with them.
Yeah. Kind of feels like you're doing it now.
Exactly. And this movie was grim, but like Cuba Gooding Jr., I think he had only done like Boys in the Hood at this time.
Oh,
like
wow.
this was like one of his first things. Maura Kelly was in The Cutting Edge and had just been in the Fire Walk with Me.
Wow.
So they were like, up and coming big names, and they put a bunch of money into this movie. I don't even know if you can see it now, but Daybreak, if people
Daybreak
see it, check it out.
in Staten Island.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I like that.
Pretty
All
good
right.
movie.
Okay, I dig that. I like learning new stuff, especially stuff when I was around for it. I'm like, how did I miss that? But
Yeah.
it happens.
Oh yeah. Is there a show that you think of that was like shot in New York or set in New York that's like quintessential, like feels like the New York you grew up in?
Oh man. Well, let me see. Well, it was earlier than. I mean, I was around, but it's actually a different era than me. But in my mind, I want to say "Welcome Back, Carter," but it's not because I want to say it, but it's not really that because it's kind of like I'm not that old. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. You recognize that world, but you didn't live in it.
Yeah, I didn't live that world. Else, I'm thinking about shows like
Could have been Head of the Class, the 80s Welcome Back.
I met. Well, kind of. Nuclear science. I love my classes. Where's dark glasses? Things are going great, and it's only getting better. So I gotta wear shades. I ran into my class in junior high school. Ran into Robin Gibbons when Head of the Class was still out. I think it was in 7th grade or 8th grade. We're like, oh shit, Robin. We're like Darlene, Head of the Class. And we're like in 7th or 8th grade. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh well, honestly. It could be Head of Class, but Head of Class felt like more like a specialized school, and it felt like the real smart kids that are going to, like Stuyvesant. What's her name? in my mind, when I was in junior high school, the high school I wish was the high school I went to was like Ferris Bueller's Days Off.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like,
I think
oh,
we all wish that.
this is what I wanted to be. Not even Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Well, that's what I dreamt high school would be when I was like young. I was like, damn, this was like this. This is crazy. But when I like seen Ferris Bueller's Days Off, I was like, dude, this is crucial right here. I would like this is, and that's still one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite movies, man. Ferris Bueller's Days Off. I mean, to the point that they made a show, Parker Lewis Can't Lose, based on like Ferris Bueller's Days Off.
Well, there was a Ferris Bueller show too that came out at the same time as Parker Lewis, and they were
didn't it come out a little later though? It came out was it the same time?
It premiered almost the same week.
But I felt like I watched Parker Lewis more than Ferris Bueller.
Because Ferris Bueller only lasted about 8 episodes, and then Parker Lewis was on for 3 seasons. Parker Lewis was just a better show. It was a way better show.
Parker Lewis can't lose, man.
Yeah,
he can't lose.
Smart show. It was fun. They did. It was shot like a music video. Like which
dude.
TV shows weren't shot like at that time.
I mean, the fact that I remember it so clearly. I mean, Parker Lewis Can't Lose and like Doogie Howser and shit like that. Like. Yeah, dude. But I mean, I like, dude. I remember shit like Trapper John MD and MASH and Barney Miller late nights, all that stuff, man. All that shit, everything.
I love Barney Miller. Barney Miller is what I think of when I think of New York. Best bass line ever, TV show ever.
Yeah, Barney Miller and what's the name too? I mean. There's a lot. I mean, when I think, I don't know, man. I got to come back to you on that one. But
all right.
Barney Miller's, yeah.
That was a show that was too old for me when I was growing up, and I really only revisited it like as an adult and was like, this is amazing. This show's so good.
Whoa, you know what? A part of it. So I'm from Queens, right? I grew up in Queens. Born and raised in New York, born in Manhattan, raised in Queens, lived in every borough besides Staten Island. No disrespect to Staten Island, but that's I've lived everywhere. Wow. Besides, no. Shout out to the Wu-Tang. No disrespect to. I say that to say certain things. I feel like when I was young, I wish I grew up like a Cosby kid, right? I wish I grew up how Bill Cosby. I was like, not talking about Bill Cosby. I'm just talking about Ben.
Like ritzy kind of Brooklyn, like upper middle class Brooklyn.
Yeah, the shit that's upper middle class Brooklyn. You got a lawyer and a doctor. That's regardless of race, you're doing pretty damn well.
Oh yeah, you got a brownstone in
Clinton Hills,
like Park Slope or something.
No, right? Borough Hall. So I mean. And you got a Gordon Gartrell, man. You got a Gordon Gartrell. So it's like, that's how I wish I was living. But yes, I don't know. I'll come back to as far as the show that depicts you. But like, it's some cool shit. Oh, Fame too, dude. Fame. Fame reminds me of New York. But like, I was really young. But Fame reminds me of New York. Yeah, dude. Fame. I want to live forever. I want to learn how to fly.
Everybody wanted to do, like, anyone who had any inklings of wanting to be a performer that grew up in the 80s was like, that seems like heaven.
It was cool. So yeah, Fame reminds me of New York. Yeah. Well, it's a lot, but it's a culmination. Damn, you're bringing all this shit out, man.
I mean, I think Sesame Street feels.
I forget about, dude. You know what? When I think about shows, I'm not thinking about obviously Sesame Street. I mean, dude, I remember being young and like only watching Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and like Electric Company. Like before I watched like regular TV, it was like, yo, look how real stuff is. I used to pray for Mr. Rogers when I was young. Like when I was super young, when I was prayer, I would pray my family, and I would pray for Mr. Rogers. So it's like, so that's how crazy. I wish I'd have like met Mr. Rogers too, man. Because then you find out the crazy thing. I watched the documentary or the movie on him to find out he was really a good person for real. Man, that was satisfying.
Oh yeah,
that was super satisfying because so many people present away. And then you find, man, he's a creep, he's a pervert, he's a sicko, he's a racist, all this. But they'll be like, yo, this dude was genuinely a good person. Whoa, shout out to Mr. Rogers. Rest in peace, Mr. Rogers.
I had Francois Clemens on the show who played Officer Clemens on Mr.
Oh,
Rogers, which
and
is
dude, that
famous.
was so crazy.
Crazy. And such a good guy, has nothing but amazing stories about Fred Rogers just being like the best guy ever.
Dude.
There's awesome footage. If you've never seen this, it's on YouTube. But like, you know how David Letterman would sometimes have guests on that he would just shit on and kind of be a dick to?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Like that was kind of his thing. And it would backfire every now and then. Like he had Jack Kirby on, it backfired, or Harvey Pekar, it kind of backfired. But he tried to do that with Mr. Rogers. And this was when early 80s. So it was when Eddie Murphy was doing Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Yes.
And SNL was shooting in the same building as Letterman. And Letterman was like, hey, have you seen this Eddie Murphy guy? He's making fun of you or whatever, you know, thinking it would get Mr. Rogers mad or something. And Fred Rogers goes, yeah, I actually went and visited him at the SNL set today because I've seen that parody and I thought, you know, this guy must really enjoy my show because it's so well observed. He must really be a fan. And I went and talked to him and met him, and it's like a picture of him and Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy's psyched because he clearly was a big fan of it. And Letterman did not know what to do with that.
Dude. Oh man, dude! Shout out to Mr. Rogers, man. Like, yo, that's wow. And you had Officer Clemens on there, dude. And like, you know how much controversy that was with him just having him on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you know because you interviewed him, but dude, it's so crazy because you don't know the significance of that until you hear about it, right? You don't know the significance of Franklin being put on the Peanuts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that, the people receive death threats.
Even the cast of Sesame Street, like just having like Hispanic people, but like just a real mix of people like you'd see in a city.
Yeah, but it's so crazy that you hear about it and you're like, no, really? People are that evil and wicked? You really like it's
right.
It's unbecoming and it's scary. You know what I mean? It's scary. And I'm not a scary person, but that's just like, damn, y'all, I feel bad for y'all. Like you're that
it wasn't that long ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's just not people are like, oh, so we're so more advanced now. No, we're not. I mean, dude, when Captain Kirk kissed Lieutenant Uhura, like there was people like, dude, there's a lot of shit that's wacky when you think about stuff that's so normal now that people want to be like, unless someone's like really on some backwoods stuff, that would be like, yeah, what the but like,
of course,
it's crazy to think like not in our lifetime and maybe a little older than us, this shit was still people were more than rough and predators. People were willing to kill and die. Like this is fucking crazy, dude.
Over dumb shit. Like, yeah, it was fascinating talking to Francois because, like, for him, who was not an out gay man at the time, because you really couldn't be in 1968. But you know, people knew. But when Fred asked him to do that show, his biggest concern was he's like, I don't want to be a cop.
Right.
He's like, I don't want to be a cop on TV. You crazy? Right. Like it was. Like I'm a 20-year-old gay black man in 1968. Wow. I don't want to be a cop on TV. Wow. And Fred was like, yeah, but you being a cop on TV will change the way kids view that.
This is true.
And he convinced him to do it, and then he's glad that he did. It's like completely crazy.
Dude, that's
like nuts.
No, because Mr. Rogers reminds me. Not just remind me, should remind people of being a quality human being. And when you find out that he was really, that wasn't just an act, that was really him. Oh man, nothing but I don't know. We turn this to a Mr. Rogers thing, but I always loved Mr. Rogers. So I was so happy to hear that he was really a good, genuinely good person. And I think that's important, man. I think that's super important to be a good person. You know? Wow.
Yeah. My the theory I've come up with the 3 phases of life recently is you love Mr. Rogers, you make fun of Mr. Rogers, then you love Mr. Rogers again and you feel bad for having made fun of him. That's the 3. That's the journey.
That's very accurate, man. Like I definitely, like I said, I'm not ashamed to say it. When I was really young, I used to pray for Mr. Rogers because I used to watch Mr. Rogers and I used to be like, oh, please make sure Mr. Rogers is okay. You know, like I want to. And then I was old. I was like, yeah, Mr. Rogers is kind of corny, whatever. It's like, then like as I got older, I was like, yo, dude. And then especially watching the movie about him and be like, yo, what? Like, dude. Yeah. He was the real deal. he was
Yeah, he won't
shit.
walk the
He
walk.
walked the walk, and you can't ask for much more. Especially because I've met people who present very kind on in front of a camera, and they've seen some of the nastiest people I've ever met in life. And then
Yeah.
some people you would think they were like kind of nasty, and you seem like, yo, this person was very down to earth and regular. I was like, oh wow, I prejudged you. I thought this person would be cool. They were an asshole, and you were
Oh yeah.
so yeah, yeah. It's one of those
Yeah.
things.
Almost every time. There's also a funny ad in here of I forgot that Michael Jordan for a while would kind of just he was kind of like Shaq and that he'd pretty much
Oh
advertise
yeah, for
anything.
sure. Like what the shaving cream chic, what like right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This one I don't remember. It's Ballpark Franks,
Yes.
and he's just like, check this out. And the coupon is for 23 cents off because
Wow.
of his jersey
Oh
number.
snap. Wow. Wow, dude. I mean, I don't. Yeah, man. You know,
He looks a little embarrassed, I'll say.
I mean, he probably he cashed a check though.
Probably had a couple of gambling debts he
Oh,
had to cover that
listen,
day.
man. I respect Michael Jordan as a player. That's about it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
respect him as a player. He's,
He's a prime example of one of those guys
yeah,
that people like, oh, he's an asshole.
yeah,
And then everyone's like, of course he is. Why would I think he wouldn't
sure,
be?
sure. I respect him as a player. That's it. I got nothing, disparaging to say. But I'm. They tell me someone if you could meet someone, it would not be Michael Jordan. I'm not interested.
No,
But I'll
no.
still watch the highlights, and I watched this game when I was watching it. But yeah,
Or prime example, Charles Barkley was considered an asshole. Then, like, the more you learn about him now, you're like, this is a good dude.
yeah,
He's got like,
he's a little homespun. You know, he's a very
yeah,
he's like your uncle who kind of doesn't have a filter, but they mean well, and they're not going to go over the
yeah,
edge, but they're going to say some shit that you're like, I don't know if you can say that. He's like, I'm not
yeah.
here to offend
I
nobody.
understand your intent.
Exactly.
There might have been a way to
Execution's a
put
little
it.
off. But you
Yeah.
know who I met when I was like 7 years old? Um, I mean, it's the reason why I'm meeting anyone. I'm appreciative, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't get higher for me. I met Muhammad Ali when I was 7 years old.
Wow, really? What
Yeah.
was that situation?
I grew up Muslim, and he was part of the same community as my parents and me, and he was at a convention. Met Muhammad Ali. I was like, Ali. I was like, how you doing, brother?
Yeah.
And I shook my hand. I was like, Muhammad Ali. And and man, like to this day, Muhammad Ali is one of my heroes, man. He's one of my and to see to hear to meet him and like I'm sure me amongst millions of people, I'm not no different than millions and millions probably underestimating it. Like I always say, the three most popular people in the world in my lifetime to me was like obviously like that everyone knows is Jesus. Everyone knows Jesus or whatever.
Hmm.
It was Michael Jackson and then it's probably Muhammad Ali. The three most
Yeah.
popular people like in the world. Like you can go anywhere. They're like Jesus. I don't like. Oh, but you've heard the name. You don't have
I have
to.
an
You
opinion.
have an opinion. You don't have to like. You don't have to love. But you know the name. You have an opinion. Oh, of course, Michael Jackson. You know Michael Jackson, and you know who Muhammad Ali was. So that's some. So yeah, yeah. It's
And he's a guy that too, like, I don't think gets enough credit for like because he played a character to people.
sure,
He was real smart,
sure,
and he would rope a dope people with words. Like
sure. He was
he'd get
selling the
them into a
fight.
false sense of security.
He's
Yeah,
selling a fight.
and knew what he was doing, and is really funny. Like
Absolutely,
he's
absolutely,
hilarious.
absolutely. But you know the thing is, Sue, his humanity. His humanity, dude. Like he stood for something, but his humanity. Like, this is a guy who talks somebody about to jump off a fucking roof down.
Yeah, didn't have to.
He didn't have to. Didn't have to. Dude, like
Yeah,
it's nothing. It's like it's nothing else you can say. Like you using your celebrity for something way big. I mean, people don't understand his money he just gave away to help people. And not saying that's just it, but it's just like, man, like I like hearing those stories. I love. I mean, like I said, I met him, but I wish I'd have met Mr. Rogers. Like I like hearing about really quality people.
Yep.
Not just people you admire, like, yo, they're a great musician, they're great. And you're like, this guy's a fucking mess. And not
Oh
a
yeah.
mess because he's going through shit in life, but like, this person is not a good person, you know?
Yeah. You don't want to have to separate the art from the artist. And when you don't
I
have to, it's
don't
even better.
eat. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's a reminder too. It's a reminder of like creating art. You don't have to be an asshole. And a
No.
lot of times I think people, well, some people are just assholes, right? But I
Yeah.
think sometimes, especially artists, they feel whatever reason their insecurities, they want to camouflage it more, and it's like to feed the ego more. So it feels like let me do more posturing. But I think the more comfortable you get with yourself and realize, yeah, I'm in a very fortunate position that even if someone listens to me, like and like there's people who want to see us and do and like what we do, cool. And the fact that people connect with what you do, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
come on. That's the real the financial aspect is like it's the fuel for the car, but the payoff is people connecting. That fact that this song helped me through hard times. This song, man, helps me when I'm exercising. This song means something to me, dude. That's it. That's the payoff. To me,
Yeah.
at least, that's the payoff,
You put this stuff out in the world and you never know what or how people are taking it, like
dude.
for good or bad, but hopefully for good.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
please,
but
hopefully for
it's
good.
yeah, but it's
Hopefully,
yeah,
oh God,
but it's like you were
I
saying,
hate.
representation on TV stuff, like like seeing Arsenio Hall on a it's a dumb talk show. It's a late night talk show, just as dumb as any
Sure,
of the other ones, but that did change a lot of kids' trajectories in their
absolutely,
life and
absolutely.
expose them to stuff, or make them feel like they could do a thing they never thought of doing
The
before, like
I
all those kind of
Yeah,
things.
it plants the seed. Yes, it definitely does. It's inspira at worst, it's very inspirational.
Yeah.
And I don't mean and I don't mean inspirational in a bad way. I mean at worst, it's a lot of it's great. It's great. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I always say too, like it's like when people would ask me about stand up and I'd be like, yeah, go see stand ups that you don't like too. And then think
sure.
about what you didn't like. Like that's
It's important.
inspirational too.
It's important. And listen, and to get back to like the inspiration, like you know, Michelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura,
Yeah.
she wanted to give up being on Star Trek. You probably already know the story. And she was like, "Yo, I'm dealing with all." I think it was after the Captain Kirk kiss. I don't
Yeah.
remember when. And she was just getting like, "I'm dealing with so many death threats. This is not worth it." Dr. Martin Luther King said, "I'm a fan of this show. You can't give up. You can't quit." What? He's like, "No, you don't know. You don't know what inspiration for our people and to young women and to people in general. You have to do this. It's something bigger than you." And when I heard her tell that story, I was like, "Yo, dude, this is some other shit. This is some real powerful." Man, like you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's listening. It may be just a kid from your neighborhood that be like, "Yo, I heard you were from the same neighborhood as me, and I heard that you went on tour, and I never met someone who went on tour." Oh
Yeah.
yeah, tell me about that. And
Thing you
then
take
you
for
know, this
granted.
kid could be the biggest kid in the world. Like, yo, I just remember this kid from my neighborhood. Man, I didn't even really, and he was in a band or he was doing this, and I just seen him. He was always cool to me, and they were doing some cool stuff, and he always gave me time of day, give me encouragement. And this, you don't know how much that affects people.
Yeah. Oh,
You
totally.
don't know. Yeah,
Although at the
man.
same time, I feel a little bit bad for Nichelle Nichols because imagine if you hated your job and you wanted to quit, and Martin Luther King Jr. was like, "Nah, you can't." You'd be like, "Oh, come on, man,
I
please."
mean, yeah, but no, I understand it. But you know what? The time of it, it
Oh,
was
of
like
course, yeah,
he understood. Like now, it'd be like, listen, I hear you, Doc, but listen, they
yeah,
offer me twice as much. They can get somebody else. It'll be all right.
yeah,
It'll be all right. Now she was like, shit, they're
yeah.
telling me they want to kill me.
Oh
They're
yeah,
talking about blowing my. So yeah.
I
Shout out,
had
rest in peace to her too.
I had Steve Binder on the show, and Steve produced
Mm.
Elvis's '68 comeback special. He
Oh
also
wow.
weirdly produced the show Skate TV and a Pee Wee Herman Christmas special. But
Oh
one of the
wow.
first things he produced was the who was it? Tallulah Clark, I think. It was the special where she sings with Harry Belafonte,
Oh
and
wow.
she touches him like they're singing together, and she grabs his arm, and it was a huge deal.
Sure.
And he told me this amazing story where basically like they did a bunch of takes and it just didn't feel right.
Right,
And he
right.
was like, because they kept trying to, block the shots and it was too stilted. And they had the sponsors in the booth, like with them. And the sponsors were
Mhm.
like, don't have this black guy and this lady too close together. And then,
Yeah.
so Steve goes to her, he's like, let's do one, just don't worry about the block and just do whatever you feel like doing or whatever.
Right.
So that's the take. So she goes, she grabs his hand and they're singing and it's this great moment.
Right, right.
And the sponsors lost their fucking mind. They were like,
Sure.
we can't do that. We can't use this. We got to erase it. Blah, blah, or you got to use another take. So Steve tells one of the tech guys, he goes, go downstairs and erase all the other takes. And he's like, I'll stall them up here. So he's stalling them, arguing. And then they go downstairs and like, oh, this is the only take we have now. And they used it. And it was like this huge moment. But he didn't have to do that, like that
I
made a
know.
big deal.
And to think about that you have to go through all that just for something like that.
So stupid. It's so stupid.
But it's indicative of what the world's been. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, sometimes it still is. But yeah, that's crazy. And it's based on I don't want to offend the sponsors who just bothers.
Right. For no,
It's
even
not.
if it's completely stupid. The people who are giving us money,
Yeah, it's just. Yeah. I mean, hey, shit. That opens up a whole nother stuff. Yeah, you know how that goes.
Did you ever go to any TV tapings or anything when you were growing up in New York?
Yo, what was it? I think it was Sally Jesse Raphael. I went to. Yeah, dude, it was like somebody. Was it Sally Jesse? Yeah, I think it was Sally Jesse, or was it? It was a Ricky Lake. It was one of them.
There
I
was a
went to.
lot in the 90s in New
Oh,
York.
dude, I went. I wish I could find a tape. It was like I got up and spoke, but I was just a crowd, like in the crowd. Yeah, I think it was Sally Jesse Raphael or Ricky Lake. Or was it another one? What was the other chick? It was another woman. I forgot her name.
Oh, there was
She had black hair. She had brown hair.
yes, there was
one word, one name. Was it like a last name?
Tempest Bledsoe had a show they shot in New York. It was
I know it's him. Yeah,
Sally Jessica Raphael, Ricky Lake. There was also
what an M was her name?
I cannot remember. Lisa Gibbons had one. Then you also had Jenny Jones.
No, not Jenny Jones. It was someone else. It was another woman too. She had like brown hair, like brunette. She was short on the shorter side. It's not Ricky Lake though. I forgot her name though.
There were so many.
But it wasn't. It was short lived though. I think it was only like a couple. It might only last a couple years. I don't remember. But I definitely was at Raphael, Sally Jess Raphael.
Do you remember what the topic was?
Nah, dude, I was a teenager, man. Somebody was like, "Yo, I got tickets to go to Sally Jess Raphael." All this, all right, I wish I even had the video. I don't.
Well, if there's anyone out here who would have the video, it's the listeners of this show.
I wish I knew which one it was. And I like if I was if I was like an actual participant, I would know. I'd be like, "Yo, I was on this episode." I was just in the crowd, dude.
So it couldn't have been too weird of a topic then. It wasn't one of the more out there ones.
Yeah, that was a silly. Was your boyfriend cheats on you? Stupid. Something silly.
Women's clothes.
Yeah.
I'm always curious with people who grew up in New York are roughly similar age to me. Mm-hmm. What was the Morton Downey Jr. show phenomenon like in New York? Because it was huge here, but I can't imagine like what was going on down there.
Dude, well, Morton Downey was some shit, dude. Oh my God. I think I was living in Manhattan when Morton Downey came out. It's funny because now you realize it was just some over the top scripted shit, right?
It was all bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Morton Downey, I could just say for me, and I don't know everybody, but for me it was entertaining. It's kind of like 80s shock jockey type of thing. It's like Morton Downey fit right in with Andrew Dice Clay at the time.
Yeah, or Howard Stern.
Right?
Howard
Stern.
Show.
Well, shit, dude. Howard Stern. Oh, my God. I don't know Howard Stern was in high school here, Howard Stern. But I remember Morton Downey before Howard Stern. Not to say he was before, but that's what I remember him before.
His TV show was before. I think his show started in 87, and then Stern got that Channel 9 show in like 89.
99.
Yeah.
I just remember him in high school, so that's probably probably around that time. But I remember Morton Downey's TV show and just being like, "What the fuck? This is so." It's pre Jerry Springer, just outrageous. I mean, I can't speak for what everyone felt, but I know it was entertaining. It was like wrestling.
And up here, it felt so new. Like it felt actually, I don't think they shot it in Staten Island, but it felt very
Right.
Staten Island because the whole audience would be like, "Hey, more this freaking guy!" Like it was so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. It
Like the
was definitely.
audience was all
Yeah,
like,
it was very like over the top,
yeah.
exaggerated. But I think that it was indicative to the era. It
But
was indicative to
he
that.
had Gigi Allen on.
Oh yeah, I remember that Gigi Allen.
Like, that
I
was
don't care. They
insane.
follow me. They
Yeah,
just follow me. So what do you think? But Gigi was on a couple of things. Gigi
yeah.
was on
He did
something that was like,
Geraldo, I think. He was
yeah,
on a few.
dude, Geraldo. Oh God. Ugh. I ran into Geraldo in front of Penn Station not too long.
Ah, he's the
Geraldo's
biggest.
hilarious.
He's
He's
not.
hilarious. But Geraldo has some interesting shows. Like oh man, ugh, Jesus.
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact that he got his nose broken live on the air by a
That's the
white
one I was
power
talking.
skinhead with a
That's what
chair,
I was talking about.
it's pretty amazing.
I was just thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking about. It's like Geraldo, or should I say Jerry Rivers? Yeah, because didn't you change your name to Geraldo to get on a scholarship? I was like, yo, this is over the top. I remember that show called Jerry, or should I say Jerry
Yeah,
Rivers? I was like,
it's like dun dun
whoa.
dun. It's on
you wouldn't
everybody.
you wouldn't have the right to say that in my face. Da-da-da. Oh yeah. So it's
Yeah,
Geraldo.
it's funny. I feel like there's moments like that every 5 minutes on the internet and television now, so
Oh,
that
dude, it's
you don't even
regular,
notice
dude.
them.
It's dude. The Morton Downeys, the Geraldos, the Curtis Leewells. All I mean, this is stuff. I mean, Howard Stern. This predates the internet.
Yeah,
So even Andrew Dice Clay, all that
yep,
stuff is stuff that's like, whoa. Either if you're of age and that's what you feel. If you're underage, or like it's so shocking. What is he saying? What the
yeah,
whoa. So you're just a kid. Listen, like I remember hearing Dice Clay and be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this?" Now
yeah.
listen to it, I'm like, I
How
can't
can you
listen to this
do
shit.
this?
I can't listen to it. I can't. I want to listen to it. I listen to that. I'm like, yeah, this is just like mama jokes, man. This is just like
Yeah,
this is.
it's just being
Really,
shocking for the sake of
eh,
shocking.
eh,
It's not.
yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't age well. It didn't age well at all.
it didn't age well weeks after it came out.
Absolutely. But when you're super young, or you're just in a meathead mentality, that shit sounds like some real profound stuff. Well, not profound, but
Right.
hilarious.
Well,
It's better,
it's
hilarious.
transgressive, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I can listen to this. And yeah, there's a guy
Exactly.
who's not a good guy.
Yeah, I can. I mean, yeah,
Not a shock.
he's a character. That's not
Yeah,
even. That's. I think he felt whatever. It doesn't matter.
yeah, there is a whole bit
Yeah,
with him.
yeah.
So I don't want to take your whole afternoon, but so did you go through and pick some stuff to watch this week?
Dude, I honestly did not, man.
Okay,
I've been go. I don't, man. I've been crazy. I've been nutty. I had time to do it in the last day or two. I was help. No,
it's all
I
right.
can't.
So
I don't want to go for
are there any like comfort shows you watch now? Do you have like a going to bed show?
now or
Yeah,
then.
like a classic
Oh
show,
no,
or either really.
no, dude. I don't really watch TV like that no more. Uh, then. Oh, dude, I always watched the honeymooners and stuff like that, late night. I watched the reruns back then.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
PIX and Channel 11. Was Channel 11 PIX
Yeah,
showed the honeymooners
yeah,
nonstop.
the honeymooners. What's the I Love Lucy?
Yeah.
Barney Miller, MASH, all that late night silly, crazy. But yeah, not now. I don't watch, dude. I watch sports highlights. I don't watch. I watch music stuff and sports. I don't
Yeah.
watch no damn TV. I don't
You can watch whatever you
nothing.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, and right now I'm a binge watcher. So like if it's a show like the last thing I like binge watch was like the Daredevil thing. I'm like, oh, watch the
Oh, the
episode. I'm like,
latest
nah.
one. What did you think of that?
Oh,
Were you a comic book guy before that, or was it kind of?
I'm still a comic book guy. Yeah, I mean I was just talking about I just got the new like a Luke Cage thing on eBay or sent to my house today. No, I've been buying comics so long, but then I got back into it and I just bought two comics yesterday and I have about 60 or 70 I haven't even read. I'd be like, but I
Yeah,
give some to my son. I'd be like, oh man, take this. But I'm like, oh wait,
I should look at
Batman
this first.
Spawn. I'm gonna go. Wait, Batman and Spawn. Wait, Stag Shock and Batman. Ooh, Daredevil and Spider-Man team up. I gotta read this before I give it away. So, uh, I didn't finish the whole this Daredevil. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes. I like it. I mean, I'm a big fan of Daredevil because
Yeah.
Daredevil's New York, man. He's a
Oh
New
yeah,
York
I mean
guy.
Marvel's New York. Like Marvel is
Yeah.
so intrinsically New York. Yeah, that's the other thing I think of when I think of this because I'm also a huge comic book guy. And there's a comedian, Stuart Lee, is an English comic who's like one of my favorite comics. But he said an interesting thing recently where he was like, the fact that we're all like better, we're all better people for reading Marvel comics from the 70s and 80s because they were
Dude.
all written by like hippies who took acid and Jewish World War II veterans.
I
These
mean,
people who were like, hey,
listen, dude, listen. Listen. I comics keep me in a good place. You
yeah.
know, I don't drink or smoke, so I buy comics.
I will say I'm a huge Daredevil fan, and the second season of the Netflix one, I was
It's
like,
good.
but in the middle, I was like, how
It
did they
kind of got
make
a little.
zombie ninjas boring?
Yeah, it gets a little wacky. It gets a little. You know, what it is. I just have a. I'm more into the vigilantes, man. Like growing up, I like the superheroes, but then I got more into like, nah, dude, I don't want everyone these super duper powers. I want this
Right,
guy. He's a great fighter, and he's a lawyer. He's blind. He's from
right.
Hell's Kitchen. I fuck with it.
It's the
I
street
play,
level crime stuff. It's just more
dude.
interesting.
I I like Frank Miller Dark Knight
Yep.
Batman. That's my Batman. I don't like the other. When I was young, I did, the whole Adam West on TV. I used to watch Batman going to come home from school, the reruns. But for me, it's the Dark Knight. It's the Frank Miller stuff.
Yeah.
So
Which same with
Daredevil,
Daredevil,
Frank.
Frank Miller. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. I like all that darker. I'm into like Spawn and Blade and Luke Cage and Black Panther and shit like that. I kind of dig the Punisher, but I don't know. It's like I don't like who represents the Punisher, so I kind of left it
No.
alone.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
like
the Punisher's fault, but yeah, they kind of yeah.
exactly. They kind of co-opted the Punisher, so I kind of like, yeah, I can't, I can't in good mind. And even I think Stan Lee got on him. He's like, man, I
Oh yeah.
didn't make this for y'all to do that shit too. But I read comic books still.
My friend Lexi Alexander directed the second Punisher movie,
Oh,
and
okay.
she's a Palestinian German Muslim
Mm,
kickboxer who
whoa,
used to be a
whoa,
model. She came here as a stunt person, but so like she is everything the people who are wearing Punisher skills are
eggs,
not. And
eggs.
I just remember so many people trying to argue with her on Twitter, and she'd be like, "Dude, I made the Punisher movie. Like you're wrong. Like I literally made this
Hello,
movie." Like,
hello, dude. And you know what's crazy too? Dude, the Punisher on the Daredevil Netflix was crazy.
he was
He
great.
went great. That
Yeah.
shit was. Those are the type of anti-heroes and super. Like I love those are the motherfuckers who's like, oh, I can't do this because of morality. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. That's why I like that Daredevil goes through his fight in his head, like, but I like, and I like the fact that Kingpin shares, like, I like the fact that Spider-Man and Kingpin share, like, Spider-Man and Daredevil both share Kingpin as a villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. At one point I think Spider-Man became Daredevil because Daredevil
Yeah.
was in Rikers Island.
Yeah.
The fuck is
When he got unmasked, so Spider-Man could
yeah.
kind of fake his powers and pretend to be him.
Dude,
So they
this
go, yeah.
is this
Yeah.
is realistic shit to me. That's like it's based in reality, but with imagination.
Yeah.
So as I've gotten older and lived my life, I'm like I can't do all the super out there. I respect it and I like it, but I'm like nah, dude. They're like, oh, how about this? I'm like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
watching Thor Hammer. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't hear about this
Uh,
cosmic thing. Yeah.
yeah,
There's a scene in the second season of The Punisher where they show him like a psycho, and all of the violence is really gross and gory because it's like supposed to be
yeah,
disturbing. And he's protecting. There's like a teenage girl he's protecting, and he
right.
kills these dudes and it with a knife, and it's just like he's kind of like, don't look at this. Like it's
Dude,
disturbing. Like he
the,
knows, you
the
know.
the prison fight when they
Oh
try and kill
yeah,
him in prison
down the
was
hallway. Yeah,
brutal.
yeah,
That was brutal. But that was so more realistic for me. I was more like, yeah, dude. I mean, like 20 something years ago, I got into this comic called 100 Bullets.
Oh yeah.
I collected about 2 years of the trades. And then I just like, I'm off of this now. And I was loving it. They had stuff like, they're like, weed dealer in Washington Square Park gets stuff. I was like, yo, this is. And then my mind just flipped to like, as I got older, I'm like, it can't be too fantasy for me.
Yeah.
It has to be. I like some imagination. I like colorfulness. But you got to bring it back home for me. I got to, like it got to be okay.
Tether. You need like a little.
I need you to listen. I like Spider-Man when Spidey's a little more angry. Like I like Spidey when he's a little more. I don't like the younger me is like, oh yeah, the Amazing Freddy's right behind that. Cool, Batman. But when Batman's like, punk, you thinking he's grabbing? I'm like, yeah, that's you're fighting for good, but you're like circumstances change depending on the crime and the situation. And I feel it's more human and more real.
Batman the Animated Series, one of the best things ever for that very reason.
Sure. Dude, I just read this comic. I bought it from my comic guy on 14th Street. Shout out to Howard. He probably won't see this, but shout out to him. Sometimes I buy comics from him. I wasn't a dollar bin. I bought I think it was called the Night Stalkers. And it's like Blade with Hannibal the King.
It's Marvel Sons, Midnight Suns, the Marvel. Dude, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Johnny Blaze. Yeah.
Dude, I read this and it was $1. I bought other stuff too. I think I bought Black Panther book and a Batman and Superman book for like $7. I was like, the Batman and Superman I'm giving to my son. I'm not even gonna read this, so I'm not interested. But I might actually. But Black Panther definitely. And then I bought that, and then I bought like 2 Blades too because. See, vampires to me, I never grew up liking the whole vampires, but more and more I'm like, dude, a lot of people moving around here like zombies and vampires. Like, they're not moving around here like they actually of the living. So
right.
I relate to it more now because of my mindset. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Blade played it like that secret society thing too, like the old money secret society kind of thing, aspect of it, which was a really interesting angle. Like it put in like this class structure thing to it.
Yes,
kind of spun a little extra thing on top.
Spawn too. I like the Spawn the series.
Oh yeah,
I like Spawn book. Yeah, I'm in the comics, man. I'm into it. But I don't even go to like when I go to see like movies, comic movies. I usually don't. I go for my children. Like I seen like Spy. I don't know what did you see?
It's spectacle now. It's a big spectacle. It's like a ride. They have to justify the $40 for a ticket.
Yeah, I go because my children. I don't really find those interesting, especially if I read the comics. Like if I read, I'm like, dude, this is like. And my son, he's 14, so he'll be like Transformers. He's huge into Transformers. He'll be like, well, it's cool. He'll be like, I was all right, and I'm like, well, what do you like about this? Well, honestly, these people came after this one, and then I'm like, oh man, you're like analytic. Well, they're actually that wasn't how it was. In the book, it's listening. I'm just like, oh,
he likes the continuity and the
history.
He's like,
he's like, it's okay, but they could have did it better. I said, what would you wrote better? I would have wrote this because this was like this in the book. It's like this, and this is the history. They don't come to later. That's after this. We all got to be passionate about something.
That's what it's supposed to do, though. It teaches them about story. It's teaching them about like structure stuff, and whether he knows it or not. One thing I've sort of replaced my love of those sort of like street level like vigilante comic stuff with is Hong Kong has been putting out just some awesome movies in the last few years. That
really?
Donnie Yen has a movie called The Prosecutor that came out.
Oh, Donnie Yen is bad. He's a bad boy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you it should be streamed with The Prosecutor. He basically plays a prosecutor who is a vigilante outside of the court because like the courts, but like oh man,
fight scenes, everything.
Insane.
I like vigilantes, dude. Like I'm not afraid to say it, but like vigilantes who are like for the people and for good.
They gotta have a moral code.
And that they're like, okay, I'm doing this because y'all are not doing your job. This is bullshit. this dude, y'all know this dude kidnapped people and raped a bunch of children, and he got off on a fucking technicality.
Of course.
No, sir. You gotta have to pay the piper, baby. You
Yep.
gotta pay the piper. And then I just see like Daredevil or Dark Knight Batman. You think you got away with that, punk? You think you got away with that?
What's the
You're gonna
classic
go in
anti-hero?
tomorrow.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
doing the wrong thing for the right reason. Yeah.
Yes, you're gonna go in tomorrow and you're gonna confess and you're gonna take all the time, or you're never gonna live.
Yeah. Gets the job done.
It's a job done. But let's talk about the album. We got enough time.
Yeah. So the album is brand new album, right? Is it the fourth album?
Yeah, about fifth full, fifth 5 full length, 3 EPs, 1 live album, and we got a new live album coming out in the fall. So that'll make 10 releases by the before this year is out.
What's the
Yeah.
why like a second live album's kind of rare for a band too? Do you just think you're like some bands are like we're better live or like
We're one of those bands. I don't think we're better live. I mean, look, our calling card is a live show. I think we make really good studio albums because we record all our albums together.
right?
We record everything at the same time. So it's the energy of that. But I think live it captures some magic this with the people coming on to something else. And plus the opportunity. I mean, look, most people don't do that until they're like Kiss status. I'm like,
Right. And then even then it's
What?
fake. They just overdub.
And it's exactly. We're not overdubbing nothing. It's a mistake. It's a mistake in it. So like, yeah, more releases, man. I mean, a lot of people are just hearing about us now, or maybe in the last 4 or 5 years. But this is our fifth full-length album. So
Do you think it's radically different from the other stuff? Like there's some different sounds in it from the other records. Like it's a slight evolution, at least I think, from what I was listening.
Yeah, it's evolved. I mean, Black Hole Easter Tornado, we're proud of it. The album before that, Ghost in the Shadow, we're proud of all our stuff. But I feel like the last three are very much. If you start, some people start at the beginning. You can start wherever you want, but like I would say, Ghost in the Shadows, Black Hole Easter Tornado, and then Sting the Devil, and then you can go back and hear everything else. But those are like the albums that you can hear, and then the live album too. But like you hear, like, oh, it's all a natural evolution. We're not.
It's clicking together in a way that's not that it wasn't before, but it's at a different. It's all kind of working as a one unit.
Yeah, it's playing hundreds and hundreds of shows together, being on the road together. The majority, like me and Alcatraz, a guitarist, have been in the band since the beginning, so that's 18 years. Carnage has been with us for 13 years, and Rancy's been with us for like almost 8 or 9. So you have a core unit for over 5, 7, 8, 10. Three of us have been together 13 years together. So that's three of members. And I've known Ramsey for like 20 something years. I know me and Alcatraz from the same neighborhood. Like I've known Alcatraz over 30 years. You know what I mean? And then Carnage I've known right before he joined the band, so about 14, 15 years. So growing as people together, playing a ton of shows. I mean, we done played hundreds and hundreds of shows in the last 5 or 6 years. Seeing how the audience responds to the stuff, that all plays into the music. You grow, and like, there's no one out there that we feel like we're in the same lane, but there's no one that sounds like us. So there's nothing that we feel like we have to try to be like, oh, yo, let's make this album more metal. Let's make this album more punk or hip hop. It's like, no, dude, we just make the shit we like. It's not really, it's not that deep.
Reverse engineering an audience, which is always like the kiss of death for a record. You just do it.
Yeah. It's just, dude, like I say, I think it would be different if we were like, maybe the biggest band in the world, and like, yo, it's all this pressure, like, yo, your albums sold 350,000 copies the first fucking week, yo, you're playing on everywhere. How's you gonna top this album? I think it's more like we do the shit we like. The people who like it, and hopefully we get more audience. It's not really, we're not I say it all the time. We're not trying to make the ultimate hardcore record. We're not trying to make the ultimate punk record. It's just make the music that we like, and hopefully we make the. The goal is to make it better than the last one.
Yeah.
That's it. Like better than the last one. Ideally, obviously, people will like what they like, but that's the goal. As better than, or at least equal to. Like yo, it's as good as or better. Um, yeah, that's really
And
it. Just
different too. Like even as like a fan who
sure,
listens to records, there are bands' albums that I would first get them and be like, oh, I don't know about this. And I'd have to listen to them a bunch and be like, wait, this is my favorite
right,
album now. But I still appreciated the fact that it wasn't like, oh, this is the same album. Like it's just more of the same. Like I'd rather
right,
have it be something different and
yeah.
interesting.
That's. Listen, I mean, thank you. Like we pride ourselves on that without overthinking about it. Like I
Yeah.
mean, if you go song to songs, every song sounds different, but it's still us.
Yeah.
And this is not something where we're like, yo, this is going to be the funky song. This is going to be the more punky song. This is the harder song. This is the fast. It's like, oh, that was good. I like that. Yo, what's that? Oh, I like, yo, start playing. Come on. Oh, I like this. Start writing. And then it's kind of like you'll record it, have an idea, take it home, listen to it. Yo, I like the shit we did. Yo, the stuff we were jamming in the rehearsal space, I wrote lyrics to it. So now we go back and work on it. So by the time we go in the studio, it's already fleshed out.
Right. And it's a different way to write. It's not one guy showing up being like, here's the parts, I'll show you guys. Which
Yeah.
some bands,
And,
that's how they do it.
and sometimes someone shows up with a whole idea. Sometimes I show up with like I beatbox a riff. Yo, I got this riff for this, and these are the lyrics. And then people add on. We got like all of us compose music. We some of the time we're composing on together, and a lot of this stuff is like right there. Like we make it together. And I'll start with Alcatraz playing a riff that he's not even trying to play. He's just noodling. I'm like, what the yo, what's that?
Yeah.
Play. Yo, I like that. And then it's just like, yo, and then we just as catch the lightning in a bottle. I mean, we never feel like we have to abandon what we do because we love what we do. It's more
Right.
like, yo, these are new ideas. Let's put it. Let's add them.
Well, you got
It's
to keep
never like,
yourself interested.
dude, yo, listen, yo, honest to God, that's some of the truest words someone ever said because it's like, if we don't like it, I don't care if everyone like it. I'm like, I don't like this shit. This is
Yeah.
boring. Like we could easily play like you hear the variations of styles on our album. We could easily play one style all the time, but I would hate it. We
Yeah.
would all hate it. I would hate it. I'd be like, yo, this is boring.
Yeah. It's
This
like
is
work.
easy. Yeah, and it's easy and it's
Yeah.
not challenging. It's kind of like, dude, like I know how to do this easy. I don't have to,
Right.
but like finding different cadences, different tonalities for different listening, that's fun. And I don't have to overthink it. I'm just like, oh yeah, automatically. That's a different tempo. I know how to shift. I'm gonna automatically shift because I hear it.
It feels right. Like
It
it
feels
reflects what you're
yeah,
listening to at the time and like kind of
sure.
what excites you at the time. And it's stuff you'd never know. Like, I always think of like the later period Black Flag. Those dudes were only
Mm,
listening to Dio. That's it. Which when
yeah.
I hear that, I'm like, oh, okay. But like you wouldn't think that. You know
Well,
what
that's
I mean?
what this is the thing. Yeah, oh, this is the thing, man. We all listen to similar stuff and different stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like I think Alcatraz was saying that he was listening to a lot of like and I didn't even know this until he said it in like a promo cut for like his version. He was like Thin Lizzy, uh I think he said Jeff Beck and
Weird.
Thin Lizzy, Jeff Beck, and what else did he say? He was just Jeff Beck, Thin Lizzy, Jeff Beck, and it was another guitar player. I forgot who else it was.
For
He's like,
like
I was just
70s hard rock kind of stuff, which
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I was just like, oh, he was like, oh, Zeppelin. He was listening to like Zeppelin.
Okay.
He was listening to Zeppelin, Jeff Beck, and Thin Lizzy. Like, I don't listen to Jeff Beck. And no disrespect, I don't listen to that. And I mean, and I like Thin Lizzy, but I don't really listen to that either. Ah, and then like certain stuff, Ramsey's like, oh, like certain songs like Maiden. I mean, I like Maiden, old Maiden, but I don't like to me, I don't even think about all my influences are there that's been there for a while or they seep in. I
Yeah.
never be thinking about I want to make a song like this. I'm kind of just like, oh, I've been listening to that. I'm listening to
All good.
like New Orleans funk. I'm listening to like Motorhead, Fela Kuti. I'm listening to Sade. I'm listening to tons of hip hop. I'm
Sade's the
always
best.
just listening to music. So
Yeah.
it's all in there. It's all in there.
Funny too, when like y'all write a song that you think is a ripoff of something, like I'd be like, oh man, this is a total damned ripoff
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. But then by the time it comes through your whole thing, like it that's only
It's
to you.
so
Like it doesn't sound anything like no one would ever think that.
because you alchemize it.
Yeah.
When it comes to your filter, your different influences, like even someone would be like, "Oh man, this whole cadence I got from this person." Yeah, but you don't have the range, or you have a different voice, you have a different tonality. So by the time it goes to your filter, it sounds that's what you were listening to. I've
Yeah.
had like I do solo stuff, hip hop stuff. People be like, "Oh, I can tell you were listening to that." I was like, I actually was not.
I never even
I'll tell
heard
you what
that.
I was listening. Yeah, I'm like, no, actually, I was listening to this and that. They're like, really? I was like, that's all. I was like, that's all I listened to when I was like thinking of it. Really? I'm like, no, I'm lying. Of course, I'm telling you the truth. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. It's because you don't hear it because when it goes through my filter, it still comes out my voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just learning. I'm just stuff is just kicking in my head and being inspired. But I can't. I'm not a good tracer. I'm not a good like. I don't copy people well. I've never been really good at that. I learn, but I'm never like, oh, I want to make this. I'm like,
But that's what
whatever. It's
inspiration
all
is. You know what I mean? Like it's I
actually.
never thought you could do a thing that way. Let me try to do something that way, and it's not going to come out the same way, but it
Yeah,
inspired you to like take a direction you wouldn't have otherwise.
dude. We hung out with. We're fortunate to hang out with Ian Mackay, right?
Oh, nice.
A friend Anthony. Shout out to Anthony Smallwood from DC. He knew Ian, introduced us. We went to the Discord house, hung out. He's playing us unreleased Fugazi stuff, Minor Threat demos, Bad Brains demo, all kind of just crazy. And he's a gracious host, amazing guy. Obviously an icon in the stuff we do. Um, love him. You know what I mean? Appreciate him. And some of the Fugazi stuff. I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of Fugazi. Some of the stuff that they didn't release was so funky and so groovy. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
what the fuck were you listening to? And he's like, oh man, we listen to funk and we listen to, this and that. I was just like, usually the musicians and the artists are more eclectic than some of their audience, especially if you're in a genre that's a little bit more niche.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, but this is supposed to be punk. This
Yeah.
is supposed
That's how you have to do it.
to
Yeah.
yeah, this is supposed to be metal. You're like, oh, this is what do you listen to make this greatest metal album in the world? Oh, just listen to jazz. What? Oh, I don't listen to metal. I listen to jazz.
Yeah.
No, you're pulling. No, yeah, dude, I'm not drawing from that. It's like so. I say that to say like man, inspiration comes from so many places, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many places and so many, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be amongst the living creating.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of people aren't.
And you know what? They wanted to be here.
Yeah.
Some of them wanted to be here. Some of them woke up with plans to do something today and they didn't. So gratitude's the attitude.
Well, I'll put links to the new record. Do you have a preference where people pick it up or stream it or buy it?
I mean, pick it up. I mean, go to creeprecords.com, pick it up. Like, creeprecords.com, pick it up. I mean, wherever music is available, it's on all the digital platforms,
Yep.
blah, 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 blah. Go to the Bandcamp. Go where the band can see the most money.
Yeah.
But if you,
Bandcamp probably
you
is a good one. Or yeah.
Bandcamp, yeah, do whatever, or come to a show and pick up some actual, physical records and CDs will be available shortly. There's a little delay in the CDs, but by the time this come out, it should be out. So pick up some CDs, pick up some merch, and listen.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. So nice to talk to you. Let me know when you
Dude.
make it up to Boston.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But this has been awesome. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ken. Listen, I didn't know what to expect, but I said, no, in a good way. I was just like, I always try to go with an empty canvas, but I didn't know what to expect. And I'm very happy and pleasantly. You brought me down memory lane and a bit nostalgic, but in a good way.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I mean?
It's always my
in
goal.
a good way.
Yeah, not in the
'cause I don't-
toxic nostalgia.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because sometimes I don't want to always think about the past, especially the present. But it's cool because you start thinking about like, oh snap, yeah. I mean, dude.
Baby, I see you in my genie said, yeah, baby, I see
There you go. That's Creature from Rebelmatic. Awesome dude. Really loved having that conversation. I always love talking music too. And you know, I love the punk rock, everybody. Check out their new record. You can find it anywhere. It's called Sting the Devil. Just look up Rebelmatic or just ask me. I can send you a link. If for some reason you can't find it, if you can't find it, then you don't know how to use basic Google, or go to a record store and you can get it there. But anyway, you know how to do things. You don't need me to tell you that. Oh, God. Well, on to August next week, and I'll have a brand new edition. So I hope to see you there for that brand new edition of TV Guidance Counselor.
Yo, Morton Downey was some shit, dude. Oh, my God.